for this whole hour together. You, I, and the rest of the world. We want to thank all of our people live. We're here live coming out of New York City, and we want to thank you guys out there in Facebook land out there. And I see my friends out there over on the YouTube side. And so we simulcast every week at this time between Facebook and YouTube. So we're glad to have you along with us. And it's going to be a great weekend here in New York as far as the weather's concerned. We're going to tell you more about that a little later. And as you guys come in, we want to make sure that you guys give us your weather forecast wherever you are. If you're in New York, you don't have to do that because I will cover all of that for you. But the rest of you guys, you know what to do. And happy Friday once again to each and every one of you. And I always look forward to this day. So thank you so much for being along with us. And let's raise our cups because, by the way, what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me while I shoot up. I want to take time to say hello to the people who are coming in this morning. And, of course, to all of the other people on the YouTube side. You could also get in touch with us, too. All you have to do, you could type, just like the people on Facebook, you can information on the side right there. You can type in your information or say hi to us, and we chat with you. We'll chat with you, and of course, I'll read off all your chats. And we talk about a lot of things on this show, but mainly we want to start the show as we always do with a little hearty hand clap right there. Okay, that's the hand clap, ladies and gentlemen. We do that every week because that is paying homage to all of the people, the doctors, the nurses, and all other hospital employees for being a big part of this pandemic since it's been on since a year ago. Also, to our firefighters and our police officers, they are known as the first responders. We want to say hello to them and thank you guys for being along. Everyone lends a helping hand in this time of need right now. But as you can see, things are starting to clear up a little bit. The fog is kind of clearing up. And before you know it, we'll be back to normal. But it's going to take a little more time. All you have to do is just sit back, relax. Don't rush into anything. For instance, I was watching, the spring break because the kids are on spring break. And I was watching the footage from Florida. And these kids out there, they're just whooping it up, which I can't blame them. I know that's what they want to do, but they weren't doing it on the safe side. They were all in clusters and they weren't wearing any mask or anything like that. And it's not what you want to do at this particular point. You don't want to do that at this particular point because what you want to do is stay safe by continuing to wear those masks, even if you're vaccinated. Continue to wear the mask. We'll talk more about that later. Now, if you go up into my subject area, if you're on Facebook, right? You can look over here, over there, down here, however you're watching the show. But if you're on YouTube, you look in the chat column and you will see the information there. And there's a lot of information there at the top. You have the name of the show and, of course, more information like my email address and my telephone number, which, by the way, you can utilize anytime you want to get in touch with me. But underneath all of that, there's a thing called COVID-19 test. And there's a phone number underneath it or on the side of it. Now, I post that number there every week for those of you who may not have access to people who can give you information about the COVID test, which I'm pretty sure at this particular point in the game, everyone has access to it because everyone has local numbers in their area. No matter where you live, around the world, around the country, no matter where you live, you have access to information about the COVID test. But that number, I just figure I laid it out on you because I had that number up there ever since the beginning of this pandemic. And I just kept it going. Now, it's something that you could use. You could use it. Even though it's a local number in New York City, I'm pretty sure they'll give you the same information. You can still get that same information. And not only that, you could also find out where you can go to take the test. Now, they urge you to take the test, especially if you haven't been vaccinated yet, continue to take that test every now and then so you can find out where you are as far as your health condition is. So we want to keep everybody healthy. And so they'll give you that information too. The test is short and sweet. It only takes about 5 seconds, slightly uncomfortable, but bearable. So you might want to check that out. And if you're living in New York City, we have what they call the 311 number. Now, that's a number exclusively for people who live in the New York City area. And that number tells you anything you want to know about New York City. It gives you information about where to go, theaters, clubs, restaurants, bars, and everything. They give you all kinds of information and directions on how to get to these places, when you want to get to these places, and what time these places open. All of that information, everything about New York City. Not only that, you could still use that number too. If you have any complaints, you see some kind of crime going on, you can quickly get in touch with people at 311. They send someone out. If you see a pothole in the street and you happen to fall in halfway in at one point, and you weren't happy with that, of course, who's happy about falling into a pothole, right? Call 311. Be they may not even know that that pothole was there. That's why they have the number, so you can report it in case something like that happens. And they'll send someone over to repair it, or whatever. And of course, that 311 number, I'm pretty sure if it's that expansive, I'm pretty sure that you could also get information about the COVID virus. You can get information on where to go to get the test. Also, information on where to get the vaccine, because the vaccine is out now, right? And different places, and everybody's taking it. And the president of the United States clearly said that he anticipates that everyone in all age brackets, because right now, you got to be qualified. But at May 1st, by the time May 1st comes around, that everyone in every age bracket will be able to get the vaccination. And so we urge you to do that. Good morning to Pete. Pete is in the room, DJ Pete. He's coming along because we have the 2020 feature. Now, the 2020 feature features sports with Brian Camp. That's 20 after the hour. He'll be here pretty soon. And DJ Pete will be here 20 to the hour, giving you information about people in entertainment and recite all of those birthdays of people of entertainment within this week. And so we want to say good morning to Pete and thank you for dropping by. Now, getting back to the COVID thing, make sure that you're safe. Continue to wear those masks. They're very important. Wear the mask, because the mask will, help you out. It saves your life, because when you wear the mask, it's more protecting people around you, your loved ones, your friends, your family, and other people that you meet on the street. It protects them, and as they wear theirs, they protect you. So when I wear mine, I will protect you. You wear yours, you will protect me. And so that's what we have to do to work on each other. And don't follow the old thing about, oh, no, I don't want to wear the mask. I'm not going to listen to what the government has to say. It's not about the government. It's about health. And I don't know I personally believe science over anything else as far as this whole thing is concerned. I'm not going to let politicians tell me, that this thing is over when it's not really over, And as you look forward, we're starting to develop a new spike, I'm told. When you think everything was okay, something else comes up. And we want to try to fight this. And the reason why we're getting this new spike is because there are still people who are not using their noggins, right? To say, okay, look, we know this is a problem, so I'm going to jump on board. I'm going to wear my mask, wash my hands, 20 seconds, make sure it's all clean, everything is thorough. Continue to wear the gloves if needed, because you touch things, and we want to make sure that you don't contract anything by using, let's say, pressing buttons in the elevator or things like that. But people are still not on board with this, and we're trying to get those people on board. I was watching CNN the other day, and as a matter of fact, it was just yesterday, and the person was interviewing people in another city. I can't remember what it was. I think it was Oklahoma or something like that. And they were going to people and asking them, did you take the vaccine yet, the vaccination yet? And they said, no. And do you have plans to take the vaccination? They say, no. Why do you not have plans to take the vaccination? Because I don't trust the government. I don't trust the government, and besides, I already had the virus, so I'm immune. Yeah. Yes, indeed. You are immune because you had the virus. Well, let me tell you something, Pally. No matter whether you had the virus or not, whether you get the shots or not, you still have to continue this till we get this thing down at a level where it won't bother anyone. Then we can one day not wear our mask. And I'm looking forward to that. One day we're not going to wear our mask. One day we're not going to stand 6 feet upon each other. One day we're going to hug each other. We're going to kiss each other. And we're going to communicate and gather together with each other one of these days. But right now, until that time happens, we are going to like make sure that we still follow protocol. Again, that protocol is wearing these. All right. They're not complicated. All you have to do is put them on. These are the face coverings, and make sure that they're over your nose, your mouth. You have these loops to put around your ears, and you're good to go. And again, wear these masks, but at the same time, make sure you keep that 6 feet distance going from everybody else until further notice. I want to say hello to Naoto. He just popped in, so good morning. Naoto comes out of Kobe, Japan. We're always great to have him along with us each week. Thank you, Kobe, for being along with us. Brian Camp popped in. He'll be with us, as I said, 20 after the hour with sports update. And so there you go. So let's make sure that we're all safe and make sure everything is fine. One note, we lost another person in the entertainment world, and maybe, just in case I might have missed anything, maybe you could kind of like hit me on to something too, just in case I don't know about it. Yatfat Yoto, Yatat Koto, actor Yafat Koto, passed away this week in his residence of in the European. He was in Europe, not in Europe, but in the Philippines. That's where he lived with his wife, and he passed away at the age of 81. A superb actor. A lot of you probably remembered him when he played on Across the 110th Street, and he was in Alien, and he did a James Bond movie. And he did a lot of things. He passed away at the age of 81. So we want to send condolences out to his family, friends, his wife, too, especially, who's been with him for many years. And so there you go, because we were losing people left and right. Now, they never said what the cause was, but I don't think it was COVID related. But he lived a long life at the age of 81. That's pretty good. So all of our blessings, all of our condolences going out to Yafat Koto and his family. I want to send, make sure, you got to know this, guys. You got to know this. We have been, and we have a long way to go in this country, because there are still things that are not right here. And we want to make sure we iron them all out, because, we want to make sure that as long as we live in this country, that we go back to the way we were, loving each other and embracing each other and just being Americans, the way Americans supposed to be. As much as I hate to say this, even though we're on American soil, but this is not the America I know, which leads me to say I want to make sure that send my blessings out, and I'm in total solidarity with the George Floyd family. Of course, they're not finished. The trial is still going on, and I want justice for them. So we should all be in solidarity for them. Also, I want to make sure that I mention this as well. Our brothers and sisters in the Asian American communities, all right, all around the world, all around the nation. Let's stick with them in solitude. Let's stick with them, all right, because it's a bad time for them right now, as you already seen in the news, and it makes me angry. It really makes me angry to see this, And the reason why this is going on, let's face it, the reason why this is going on, because you get one idiot that says something stupid, right? And narrow-minded followers follow this, and they foster all of these things. They really do. And so, like, I want to say prayers and blessings, because I'm with the Asian American community. I am with them, and you should be too. If you're an American, because we're all settled here, all races, colors, creeds, religions, we're all settled here. And just because you're a certain religion, just because you're a certain color or a certain race or whatever, no one should have to go through anything. All right. But like I say, you have a few bad apples. You have one idiot that may say something, and then the next thing you know is a whole big thing. And not to sugarcoat anything, but that idiot that I'm talking about comes back out, goes on that media and says something about Conflu and the China virus and all of this, you know, and the narrow-minded followers of this idiot, you know, they jump on board, and this is where we are. And so I'm here to say that I am with the Asian American community and all other races and colors of people who are going through a bad time right now. I'm with you. And that's what they call solidarity. So let's stay in solidarity with all of these people, with everybody. Let's see, what do we have going here? Naoto just gave me his weather forecast out in Kobe, Japan. He's got 48 degrees right now. It's clear. Well, let's see, it's nighttime for him. Saturday morning, it's after midnight over there, but he's got 48 degrees and the skies are clear and 11 miles per hour north winds. He's a meteorologist. There he is. Naoto, the meteorologist. Thank you so much, Naoto. Thank you. And it's always great to see you come out here. And so also all of my friends, I check in with them too on YouTube. I had a caller come in. I love to hear from you guys on Facebook. But I'm starting to hear from the people on YouTube. So I want to thank you guys for that too. Because on YouTube, what they do is, like, after we get off the air, of course, just like Facebook, the show is also posted on YouTube, and they make their comments on there, good and bad. It doesn't matter. They make their comments, but that just shows me they're out there watching or listening. So I want to thank you guys for doing that. So now, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me while I shoot up. You ever drank something that goes down the wrong pipe, goes down the windpipe? That's just what happened. Sometimes you got to take your time with this thing. Anyway, I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, about my podcast. I don't know if you saw it. I'm going to tell you about it now, and I'll tell you about it after I go off the air too, or before I go off the air. I have a podcast. It's called The Blue Cafe. And if you look up there in that area, in the Blue Cafe, you'll see it right at the bottom. It says The Blue Cafe, and underneath it is a link. It'll take you directly to the website, and you could see my interviews of people that I've interviewed so far. My latest interview is with Jimmy Clanton. Jimmy Clanton, one of the golden boys and the teen idols of the 1950s. And I interviewed him. I had a good time talking to him. So that's my latest interview with him. Before that, I did one with Bobby Wilson. It's all there. They're both there. You can check out both of them over the weekend too, if you like. Bobby Wilson, the son of Jackie Wilson. We had him. And coming up, I have Bobby Rydell, who's another teen idol. I haven't interviewed all of these teen idols. Jackie Wilson was a teen idol, And I have all of these interviews coming in. So Bobby Rydell is coming up next. And I'll be talking to him on the 6th of April. That's on a Tuesday. And then I'm going to release that interview within that same week. So that's coming up. I can't wait for that. I spoke to his wife, Linda. And so she says, I'm putting you on the calendar. And I said, okay, that's fine. So we're waiting around and we're waiting to do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue, give me a second, please. 1 second. I just got to jump away for a second. Okay. I don't usually do things like that. Uh, I had to jump away a second. I had to get a little sugar for the coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue with the show. Uh, that was embarrassing. Why did I do that? Anyway, I got to take care of. I should always take care of business before I go on the air. Jump off the air, getting up, well, whatever. Anyway, thank you so much. Hey, why don't we go to sports now? All right, Brian Kemp is on the line, and he's coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina, as he always do each week. I hope his weather is good out there, and he's got the latest developments in today's world of sports. I know last night on the radio show, Brian, you said something. You had a lot of rain, and you almost had like a hurricane or something. How's it look out there now?
Well, right now it's sunny skies, partly cloudy, partly sunny. I still don't know the difference between partly sunny and partly cloudy.
I already explained that to you already.
And you see clouds.
I explained that to you already.
Tornado out here last night, early evening. It was vicious winds and heavy rains, and after 7 minutes, the sun came up. So much for the AMRA alert that came across our television and our telephones, but everything's okay now. Very windy, but it's mild. It's 52 degrees out here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and supposed to be the high will be 52, so it's going to remain like this. Anywhere between 50 52 is going to go back and forth, but yes, it's going to be great today. Back to what you were saying, I know mayor candidate Andrew Yang is furious about what's going on in New York. I've been following New York news down here, and rightfully so. I don't know what's going on, but it's crazy. Let's give support to our Asian brothers and sisters. Definitely, we don't need that. This country. I just don't understand. I love this country. I love being American, but some Watson for allegedly inappropriate conduct during massages. Yes, he get those. But what happened was one of the lawsuits claims that he offered a lady oral sex. The two other ones was unappropriate sexual assault. So he's being sued. The first one happened back March 16th. It appeared on the Harris County District Clerk website on Wednesday morning, and there was another one on August 28th, 2020, and there was one that came in late yesterday in December of 2020, and the lawsuit was filed by Houston attorney Tony Busby. So it seems like whenever you're under fire for something that you're playing hardball with somebody, it seems like something is always going to happen. Just like with current Governor Andrew Cuomo. Now, I'm not saying that Andrew Cuomo is innocent. Whenever there's a sexual assault, we should always take this seriously. But right now, if they want to get you, they know how to get you. Andrew Cuomo, has been criticized for months for what's been happening in the New York City area and the New York State area for this pandemic, putting sick people in the nursing homes with the virus. But we're all innocent until proven guilty, so there's an investigation going on with the governor and with Deshaun Watson. But it's just so strange how these things just pop up a year or two later. Not right then and there, but 2 years ago, 3 years ago, sometimes 10 years ago, but it always pop up. So these gentlemen are under investigation. In hockey, the New York Rangers were without a full coaching staff in hockey. This is hockey we're talking about because of the protocol, the COVID-19 protocol. So they had to have a coach from the AHL and the associate general manager for the New York Rangers to coach the team yesterday, and the Rangers won 9-0 at Madison Square Garden. So they rallied behind the players, rallied behind each other, and they won, even though their coaching staff was that behind the bench, but they won. In baseball, superstar basketball player LeBron James is joining the Fenway Sports Group as a partner, giving him an ownership stake in its subsidiaries that include the Boston Red Sox, the Liverpool Football Club, the Roush Fenway Racing Corporation, and the Regional Sports Network NESS. Now, LeBron James already owned 2% of the Liverpool team and the current English Premier League champion. So he's also in partner with Maverick Carter. They've become the first company, the first black partners to own a company in sports. So investments. Doors are open up for more athletes, particular people of color. There's a lot of ownership that's been going on. Staying in baseball, the New York Yankees and the New York Mets were allowed to start their season with a maximum of 20% capacity. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced the news conference on Thursday that the Yankees could have up to 10,850 fans for their April 1st opener against the Toronto Blue Jays at Yankee Stadium, and the New York Mets will have at least 8,384 fans for the April 8th home opener against the Miami Marlins at Citi Field. Attendees will have to provide proof of immunizations against COVID-19 or a negative COVID-19 test. The requirements will be reevaluated in mid-May. In the NBA, Vanessa Bryant, who is the wife of the late Kobe Bryant, revealed the names of the officers who tried to release these photos over Instagram and over social media. This is, as you remember, Kobe Bryant and his daughter died tragically in a helicopter crash, and these police officers or cops, if you want to call them, took anywhere between 25 to 100 photos of their personal cell phones and decided to, spread them around the internet. These photos were shots of their remains, and she's put out a loss, and this is something that people should not do. And Vanessa Bryant highlighted the names of officers Joey Cruz, Rafael Vecchi, and Michael Russell, and Raul Versailles. So that's right now that's being investigated. A lawsuit is underway. And in boxing, the late Marvin Hagler passed away last week. He's a boxing great, died at the age of 66 unexpectedly. His wife, Kay, had announced it on his Facebook page. And Hagler fought on boxing's greatest stage against the biggest names in boxing, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, and Thomas Hitman Hearns in the 1980s. Hagler fought 67 times over a 14-year period. He's from Brockton, Massachusetts. He finished with a record of 62 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws with 52 knockouts. If you remember 1985, him and Thomas Hearns went 3 minutes nonstop with ferocious punches back and forth at the Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. And they traded punches. It was going crazy. And, but now, he is gone. We lost a very good fighter. He's definitely one of the best of all time. And yesterday, in college basketball starts March Madness. Everybody fill their brackets out. It's that time of the year. It goes crazy. I was watching some of the games. I was watching Michigan State versus UCLA in the 4-in game, as they call it. So for the next couple of weeks, March Madness, it's going to be fun. It's going to be wild. And that's sports.
Oh, boy, I'm glad that the Yankees are coming back. But like you said, you only get a capacity of 20% of entry in the stadium. But things are starting to look up now. I'm glad for that.
Little by little, yes. Little by little, just 20%. That much still continue wear your mask and sanitize your hands and just be safe.
And here they are, the mask right here in front of my face. Or the face coverings, whatever you want to choose. Thanks a lot, Brian. We'll catch you next week.
Take care. Enjoy.
Okay, that was Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Thank you so much for that. And he's here every week with us, giving us the latest development. I'm so happy that baseball is back. I'm a baseball fan, as you guys already know. And I'm so happy that it's back. Just joining us, if you're just joining us, it's the Coffee Hour. Frank Allan here, and we will be here coming up as Brian conclude his half of the 2020 feature, 20 after the hour with sports. We got 20 to the hour, DJ P coming along pretty soon, and he'll give us entertainment information and recite those birthdays of people of entertainment. I want to say hello to all of you guys, just in case you're just joining us. Warren out there, how are you, Warren? Out of Brooklyn, New York. And there's Deborah from Brooklyn, New York. Mary Jack Alone out there. She's from Florida, And she gave me a weather forecast. She says it's beautiful there. And out in Daytona, as a matter of fact, it's 70 degrees. It's going up to 70 degrees today. And so thank you so much for that, Mary, for that information. As a matter of fact, I didn't get a chance to give you my weather forecast. I'm asking for yours, but I didn't give you mine. So why don't I do that right now? We've got 33 degrees right now. This is where we stand right now, presently. 33 degrees. Let me double check that to make sure, though. 33 degrees. Let me see. Double check. No, now it's 34 degrees. Okay, so the temperature climbs higher and higher as it goes along. But what it looks like right now, it's going to be sunshine and clouds mixed together. We'll have a high 44 degrees. Winds will be north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. It's going to be clear skies tonight, low 31 degrees, winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow, I love Saturdays when it's sunshine. I love sunshine Saturdays. It's going to be sunny skies, high 56 degrees, winds light and variable. For Saturday night, mostly clear skies, and we'll have low temperatures, 39 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. And as we wrap up our weekend for Sunday, we continue with more of those high sunny skies. And we'll have a high 58 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. And right now, repeating the temperature as the police come by. They passed me by. They didn't even see me. I ducked in the alley. We got 34 degrees as we continue with the show here on the Coffee Hour. And thank you so much for being along with us. You know, here in my studio, right, my monitor dropped out. So now I have to monitor everything from actually go on Facebook to make sure it's still on the air. So I see I'm still on the air right there. Technology is so good to me sometimes. Sometimes it'll screw me up. But my in-studio monitor kind of like jumped out. It's been doing that for the past couple of weeks. But there's always a way to find out whether you're doing your thing or not. So we're still on the air. Thank you so much. Let's see. I got to take a shot at this. Excuse me while I shoot up. All right. So I'm not going to, even though Brian mentioned the fact that our governor, Mr. Cuomo, is going to start to open up things. You know, him and I don't know what this is about these two guys, the Cuomo and the Bellagio's. I don't know. It's no secret though. If you're living in New York, you know it's no secret. They butt heads all the time, and even Mayor Bellagio is questioning the fact that Cuomo is going to start to open up a few things a little bit, and he's wondering if it's for political reason or if it's scientific. Is he listening to the science, or is this something that he's doing politically? We don't want to politicize anything. You know, we want to make sure everybody is safe. But that's the way it goes right now. 20% capacity in Yankee Stadium for opening day, and I think Brian mentioned opening day April 1st. So that's what it is so far. And other things are starting to open up. Some places are opening up too early, 100%. Like you go to Texas, right? Greg Abbott, of course, he decided that he wanted to open his domain up all the way, nonstop, all the way, 100% open all the way. And he abolished the mask mandate. The mask mandate, that's gone. So you don't have to wear a mask. You don't have to spend 6 feet away from each other. You can go on a crowded bus. That's what he's doing. I'm not saying that's what you should do. That's not coming from me. I say the opposite. Don't do it. But that's the way it is in his part of Texas. And some other people in certain part of Texas are not going for it, and they're going to remain, safe. And I applaud those people who are on the side of safety, because it's very important for all of us. Because remember that the people who are not going to wear their mask or who are not going to take their shots, it's not only hurting you, but it's hurting us too. Because if we don't get rid of this spike, this potential new spike that's coming up, because for the past couple of days, it's been getting a little bit higher, not too high, not too much elevation there, but just a little bit. And so we want to make sure that there's none at all. And the only way to do that is to continue with protocol, right? So continue to wear the mask, your gloves, and 6 feet distance, wash your hands, 20 seconds. It takes only 20 seconds. And, get into the cracks and the crevices, wash your hand thoroughly. I do it all the time. I want to do my part, and I hope you're doing your part too. Movies this weekend. If you're doing anything, if you're not doing anything this weekend, there's a lot of movies, and I have my pick, which I did last night on a radio show. The Alan Freed movie, Go Johnny Go, starring Alan Freed, of course. You got Jimmy Clanton, Chuck Berry, and Sandy Stewart. That movie, Go Johnny Go, is on Turner Classic Movies this weekend, on Sunday, as a matter of fact. That comes on at 12 noon. And there's a classic for you. That's one of my suggestions for you. In case you're making it a stay in bed Sunday, there's a good one for you right there. And at 3:30 that same afternoon, that classic movie with Humphrey Bogart, Mutiny, or Cane Mutiny, right? That's coming on at 3:30 on Turner Classic Movie. Now, here's something that everyone should be watching, because nothing is going to overlap here. If you turn on to National Geographic channel this Sunday, you probably heard about it. You saw the promo already. Aretha. That's the name of the show, called Aretha. And it's a story about Aretha Franklin. Now, it starts at 9 o'clock, but the first hour at 9 to 10, I believe it's going to be an original Aretha Franklin documentary. And then after that, it's the movie. So check that out. That starts at 9 o'clock on Sunday on National Geographic. So I'm giving you all of this information so you could spend part of your weekend checking that out. I am going to do it. And if you can't actually watch it in real time, of course, a lot of you have DVRs. You can set it for that and watch it later, but do watch it. I plan to do it. Aretha Franklin, I love Aretha Franklin. I always did love her. Aretha Franklin, as I mentioned many times before, taught me how to conduct an interview without her even knowing it. She taught me how to conduct an interview, because when I talked to her, the day that I talked to her, I was so green, and nervous, because when you sit knee to knee with the Queen of Soul, that's saying something, And so I told this story many times when I had my interview with her, and I did her, Muhammad Ali, and King Curtis all in the same day. But the interview with Aretha Franklin made me more nervous, because you're sitting across the Queen of Soul, the Queen, And so when I stopped my tape to say, okay, and she said to me, she says, okay, look, why don't you ask me this, ask me that, blah, 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 right? And she actually taught me how to conduct an interview and ask the right questions, but she did it without her even knowing that she did that. So the Queen taught me. And speaking of entertainment, DJ Pete is on the line.
Good morning, Frank.
And there he
Brian,
is.
And everybody in Facebook world. How's everyone today? I got 11 names this week of people, so I'm going to go as fast as I can here. Let's see. We're going to start in a different direction here. So, born March 20th, 1951, Jimmy Lawrence Vaughn
brother of the late Stevie Ray Vaughan, based out of Austin, Texas. Texas blues guitarist and electric blues and all sorts of fun stuff. He had a number of various acts he played with, including the fabulous Thunderbirds, which I got to see them twice here in Portland years ago. That band, the Fabulous Thunderbirds, played at a place in Austin, Texas back in the 80s or so and helped create the music scene in Austin, Texas back then. Continuing on, we have born March 21st, 1961, James McDonald. Okay, who's James McDonald? His stage name is Slim Jim Phantom, drummer for the Stray Cats band, along with Brian Setzer and Lee Rocker. He did a lot of great music with the Stray Cats, did a lot of other solo acts or other bands outside of that, including the Swing Cats with guitarist Danny B. Harvey and a big band playing some jump blues music. He had a chance to play with Jerry Lee Lewis once, a guitarist Gilby Clarke from Guns N' Roses. And one of the latest things he did was form a band called, where is it here, the Head Cat, with Danny B. Harvey on guitar and on bass, Motorhead's Lemmy. So if anybody knows who Lemmy was from Motorhead, they had a pretty interesting sound for that band, Head Cat, back in the day there. Continuing on, Clarence Frogman Henry, born this week, March 19th, 1937, American rhythm and blues singer and pianist. Famous tune, I Ain't Got No Home, and it's a funny tune because he changes his voice in it from a guy's voice to like a little girl's voice, and then to like a frog voice. So he Frogman.
Yeah, that's how you got the name.
Song. And he, and here's another strange connection. He was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, and learned how to play the piano as a kid from Fats Domino and Professor Longhair. And you listen to any of Clarence's music, it sounds like Fats is playing on it, but that's just because he learned that style of music from him there.
He's 84 today.
He is,
yeah,
and he's still going.
Yeah, still going.
Let's see, born March 18th, 1941, Wilson Pickett. Some of his great tunes in the Midnight Hour, Land of a Thousand Dances, Mustang Sally, Funky Broadway, out of Detroit, I think it says here, Detroit, Michigan, yeah. R&B, soul, Southern soul, singer-songwriter, great sound by Wilson Pickett there. Born March 17th, 1919, that's St. Patrick's Day, Nathaniel Adams Coles, professionally known as Nat King Cole, American singer and jazz pianist. He recorded over 100 songs. Many musicians over the decades have made covers of his songs, and it's so alive and continuing today, his style of music. He was the father of singer-songwriter Natalie Cole also. And he was also the first African-American man to host an American television series.
That's right.
Here, he also performed on Broadway in New York, and a lot of great music here. Born this week, March 16th, 1926, Jerry Lewis. He was born Joseph Levitch, nicknamed the King of Comedy, American comedian, actor, singer, filmmaker, and humanitarian. Worked a lot with Dean Martin with their comedy gig, Martin and Lewis, as they called it. But a lot of great funny films with Jerry Lewis back in the day there. I'm trying to dig out some of his music to hear because I've never heard him sing.
He had a hit back in the 50s called Rockabye Your Baby.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember that tune.
I don't know how he got to sing as a comedian. Yeah, but that was a big hit for him back in 1950.
Yeah, and a lot of these singers were also actors, also.
Yeah.
Like Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra and all those people. And if they weren't, a lot of back in the 40s, the big bands, Glenn Miller and all those people, they made appearances in a lot of films.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Continuing on, born March 15th, 1931, Dominic Joseph Fontana, also known as DJ Fontana. No, he's not a disc jockey, but he was the drummer for Elvis Presley for at least 14 years or so before, was it the Colonel who took over his promoting Elvis there? So
not the Chicken Colonel.
Yeah.
Not him.
I got to meet DJ Fontana in 2002 and introduce him with some other musicians at Green Bay, Wisconsin. A wonderful guy. Knew Sam Phillips back in the day at Sun Records and all the musicians there. And, some of the music he recorded with Elvis was Heartbreak Hotel, Hound Dog, Don't Be Cruel, Jailhouse Rock, and many more there. Let's see. Also born this week, March 15th, 1912, Samuel John Lightning Hopkins, American country blues singer, songwriter, guitarist, and occasional pianist from Centerville, Texas. He had, all these people have a lot of great music. Just trying to pick them out here and there. Lightning Hopkins is, country blues is a style of blues that people should check out because it sounds like down and dirty and raw, from the gut.
Yeah.
from how these
with a little spit on it.
Yes, exactly. Let's see. Born March 15th, 1916, Harry Hag James. I'm not sure, or maybe Haig. Harry James, big band leader, American musician, best known for his trumpet playing, and had a big band from 1939 to 1946, and then broke up the band for a while, and then brought it back again the next year for some time. Let's see, some of the tunes he recorded. I'm trying to find it here. Well, he has some film credits with in Marvel's Avengers Endgame. His song "It's Been a Long, Long Time" was in it. His recording of "I'm Beginning to See the Light" is in the motion picture "My Dog Skip" in 2000. He played the trumpet in the 1950 film "A Young Man with a Horn," dubbing Kirk Douglas, who acted in it.
Yeah.
There, it was kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Harry James actually met a musician who passed away now, who lived up here in Maine, who played with Harry James back in the day. Continuing on, born March 14th, 1912, Lester Raymond Brown, known as Les Brown, and his Band of the Renown, as he called it back then. American jazz musician who had a big band, born in Reinerton, Pennsylvania. He recorded, some songs with Doris Day back in the day, so to speak. Sentimental Journey was one of his numbers, Sweet and Hot, and several more. I've Got My Love to Keep Me Warm, that's one of them also. And finally, this week, he was not a musician, he was not an actor, he was in a totally different industry, and he was born March 14th, 1863, and died tragically April 30th, 1900. He was a locomotive engineer by the name of John Luther Casey Jones, better known as Casey Jones. And he was a locomotive engineer for the Illinois Central Railroad, based in Memphis, Tennessee. And if anybody heard, the Grateful Dead has a song, Casey Jones. But
Casey Jones, steaming and a rolling.
There's a lot of songs about Casey Jones out there, but he, there was an accident where he died, and involving a train, and there was a big. I actually found an investigation report of it. 1900 when this thing happened, and it was a lot of things that led up to the accident where he died, but. They think, the fireman who is the guy who stokes the boiler on a steam engine back in the day, he jumped from the train and survived. And when they did the investigation and interviewed him, I believe he said Casey held on and tried to, stayed with the engine to keep the brakes on before they ran into the rear end of another freight train that was stopped on the same track. Casey Jones, and there's a picture of him here too.
You probably don't remember. You were too young to remember this, but they had a series, Casey Jones. They used to come on TV in the 1950s, played by Allan Jr., who used to play on Gilligan Island too.
Oh, yeah.
So there was a Casey Jones. You should go on YouTube and check out some of the series. Here's what I got today. I got the Eliane Elias. She's 61 today. She's a Brazilian jazz pianist who was once married to one of the Brecker brothers, Randy Brecker, the trumpeter. Ricky Wilson from the B-52s is 68 today. Ruth Pointer of the Pointer Sisters, she's 75. Paul Atkinson of the Zombies is 75.
Zombies?
Yeah, and let's see, Robin Luke, whose real name is Robert Luke. He composed that song called Darling, which you also too young to remember. I played his records all the time. 79 today. And you already mentioned Frogman Henry. Also, jazz singer Bill Henderson, the late Bill Henderson, he would have been 95. And Clarence Paul, who's a songwriter for the Motown stable. And he's also a record producer. He would have been 93 today. So that's all I have today. It's a lot, but that's all I have. Sorry.
Yeah, awesome, great. Yeah, and I put my radio show information in the chat room, and that's about it from Portland, Maine. It's a cold 30-something degrees, but sunny outside today here.
Okay. All right, Pete, we'll catch you next week.
All right, and, shout out to Brian and everybody else in Facebook world, and have a great day.
And YouTube.
We'll catch you next week.
Okay, take care of yourself.
Take care.
Bye. All right, that was DJ Pete. He's always with us, part of the 2020 feature, and he brings us his part of the feature with entertainment and, of course, all of those birthdays, a lot of birthdays in the entertainment world. So he does that for us each week. Thank you so much for that, Pete. And all of you, thank you for being with us. I see more people coming in. But by the way, while I'm on the Pete subject, DJ's Pete program, his radio program, you can catch him on www.radioairwave.co.uk. That's Mondays at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. and Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And it's all, you can catch him then. Also, you can catch him on WMPG in Portland, Maine. Of course, if you're not in Portland, Maine, you can go onto the website, www.wmpg.org, every other Tuesday between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. and all times are Eastern. That's the way we do it here. We want to make sure that that you know all about it. By the way, Pete, just before I hung up on you, I should have told you that Brian also mentioned that Wilson Pickett. You didn't mention Wilson Pickett. One of his other hits was called Don't Let the Green Grass Fool You. And I think it was one of Brian's favorite songs when he was growing up. Webster Dictionary added 600 new words. Thinner is one of them. Look it up. Thinner. Oh, really? added 600. That's Warren. Warren Dassler came up with that information. He says Webster's Dictionary added 600 new words, and FINA is one of them. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to check it out. Because as time goes on, new words come along, and words that are made up, they come along. So you have to revive the dictionary too. I mean, look, if they revive the Bible, the Holy Bible, which I'm totally against, that there should be no revisions of that. That's only my opinion. But if they do that, they could revive anything. Anyway, just in case you're just joining us, here it is. It's the coffee hour. And I'm Frank Allan, and I'll be with you for the next 3 minutes, 2 minutes. But we join us if this is your first time here. Don't make it your last time. Be here. We're here every week. And of course, as you already know, we do sports with Brian, and of course, you already heard DJ Pete, with entertainment news. And it's you and I, and you can talk too. You can chime in, like other people are doing. They come in and I'm reading off what they say here. And there's a lot of people, that like to make comments, and we do that for you. So therefore, excuse me, I'm going to take one more hit of this. So don't forget, guys, check out those movies I was telling you about, especially the highlight. I want to highlight on the Aretha Franklin movie. All right, I want to highlight on that. That's National Geographic. That's this Sunday. Now, all of the movies that I mentioned, Go Johnny Go, The Cane Mutiny, and Aretha, they don't overlap, so you can see them all in their entirety. You can see them all because Go Johnny Go is on 12 noon, Cane Mutiny is 3:30 in the afternoon, and Aretha Franklin is 9 p.m. The first hour is a documentary, and then they go into the movie for the next couple of hours or so. We're talking 9 to midnight overall. So you can check out all of that. Call that a stay in bed Sunday, where you don't have to get up or do anything or say anything. Or cook or clean. You don't have to do any of that Sunday. Just stay in bed. You ever have one of those days on Sunday where I'm not moving. I'm just going to stay in bed. I call that the stay in bed Sunday. And you don't have to move. You don't have to do anything. Just stay there. Just turn on the TV, stay there. I like Sundays like that. It's time for me to go, but before I do, I want to let you know that you can check out my podcast. My podcast is called The Blue Cafe, and if you look up there, it's all there. If you're watching YouTube, it's in the chat section. For Facebook, it's up there in the subject area, and it's down at the very bottom. It says The Blue Cafe. Underneath it is the direct link. You can go there. My latest interview is with Jimmy Clanton. Also, I did an interview prior to that with Bobby Wilson, the son of Jackie Wilson. And coming up, I have Bobby Rydell, who I will be doing on the 6th of August, and I will release it within that same week. So do that. Go there and check it out this weekend, anytime you like. It'll be there. Don't forget to check out Talk Back Live. We're on every Thursday night between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Brian Camp with me with sports. He'll be there too. Other than that, I'll be back here next week. I hope you will too, for more of the coffee hour. And so until then, you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and stay healthy. And if you don't have to go out, stay home, okay? And we really appreciate you being here. So you guys take care of yourself. And again, have a great weekend. We love you. Take care. Bye-bye.